So now most people know you as the physical form of the baddest person in the galaxy, Mr. Darth Vader.
Yeah.
When people watch the movie, you're not the voice of Darth Vader. You're just
I can't understand why this always comes out when anybody ever interviews me. The thing was is when I did Star Wars, I did the dialogue all the way through the movie, and right at the very beginning, it was obvious to me that everything I was saying was coming from behind the mask and was no good for reproduction purposes, you see. Mm-hmm. So I kept on to George. I kept on saying, well, I said to George, what are we going to do about the voice of Vader? Because everything I'm saying is obviously no good for reproduction purposes. And George would say, oh, don't worry, we'll go into the studios and re-record all your dialogue at the end of the movie. So I automatically assumed that it was me that was going to go into the studios and re-record them, re-record. And then, of course, when we got to the end of the movie and nothing happened, I didn't hear anything further from them. And then the film came out, and lo and behold, there's James Earl Jones doing the voice of Vader. Then all sorts of silly stories sort of circulated, saying that there was something wrong with my voice and they didn't like my West Country accent and all sorts of different things like this. There were lots of silly stories. There was absolutely nothing wrong with my voice whatsoever. It was just purely and simply because all the dialogue that I said was from inside the mask and was no good for reproduction purposes. And then, of course, they chased back to America at the end of the movie because they couldn't get all the special effects that they wanted in the UK. And then when they were in America, they sort of realized they hadn't overdubbed my voice in the UK. And then, of course, it was too expensive to get me to go over from England over to America to do the voiceovers, and it was much cheaper to just employ a voiceover artist, and they couldn't have picked a better person than James Earl Jones.
Now, how about someone like Anthony Daniels, who was also in the suit but then went back into studio? What do you think happened with that? Why use him?
I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I think they must have somehow obviously overdubbed it. Well, not overdubbed his voice, but got him to go into the studio and do his dialogue.
No, I had read something. I'm not sure if it was true, but there was a mention that they would show your face in Return of the Jedi when the mask came off. Now, was that kind of the deal that you had with Lucas, that you eventually get your voice and face in the movie at some point?
No, none whatsoever. No, I had no. There was nothing in my contract which stipulated that I would. Or at least I wouldn't be doing the voice, and there was nothing in the contract to say that when they unmasked Vader at the end of the movie, they would be unmasking somebody else. What happened there actually was Sir Alec Guinness had a very, very good friend called Sebastian Shaw, and Sebastian Shaw had been out of work for ages and ages and ages, and was going through hard times. And by all accounts, he turned around to Sir Alec and said, "Look, can you do me a great favour? Is there any chance of you getting me a part in this movie that you're doing?" And Alex said, "Well, I'll have a word with George and see what George says." And George, by all accounts, turned around and said, "Well, the only possibility that we can do is to let him do the unmasking of Vader, and let him be the unmasked Vader, as it were." And that was it. But nobody ever told me about this, and I said, and it wasn't until I went to see the movie, or when the first showing of the movie. It was like as I said, when went to see Star Wars the first time, I had no idea that they had overdubbed my voice. And then I said and then we went to see the other movie, and it was and there was Sebastian Shaw. This is looking quite strange as far as I was concerned.
Wow.
These are sort of things that happen in the movie industry.
Well, yeah, you are Darth Vader, though. When you see a photo of Darth Vader, that is you.
When anybody talks about Darth Vader, you only ever think of Dave Prowse.
Oh, exactly. Well, you're the guy in the suit. You're the guy doing the choking and all that stuff. That's all you.
Well, I did everything. I mean, I did the dialogue all the way through the movies, all three movies. I did it all the way through the movies, and I did all the acting, and then I've done all the sort of promotional work as well. And so I didn't see any reason why I shouldn't be listed as Dave Prowse. And of course, there's my name in the credits as well, which is nice.
Now, I read this online, and don't force choke me through the phone or anything. Confirm that this is just a rumor if this is true. But I had heard that you were banned from Star Wars conventions in 2010. Is that true? George Lucas said you burned too many bridges. Is that a rumor, or is that true?
Well, I've been They've actually, the only thing they stopped me from doing, well, they stopped me from doing two things, and I don't know for what reason, I haven't got a clue, but they stopped me from doing the Disney Star Wars weekends, and they also stopped me from doing the celebration conventions. I don't know what happened. Something happened somewhere along the line. I either said something out of place or something, which George didn't like, and then suddenly they put the ban on me from doing the celebration conventions. But they happen every 3 years, so it doesn't make all that much difference.
Well, for the record, every year when I do the Star Wars marathon at my house, you are invited to my Star Wars celebration.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Now, you had said when you watched the movie, there's a lot of things that you didn't realize till you actually saw it in theaters. Now, how about the idea of Darth Vader being Luke's father? Did you know that? Was that in the original dialogue?
Yeah, no, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that I was Luke's father. Yeah.
Did that change how you acted? Were you trying to hug him?
No, not at all. No.
Dave, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it. Do you want to give us some?
It's been a great pleasure.
Do you want to give us some Darth Vader lines, like how they were meant to be heard, or no?
No, not really.
All right, David. Hopefully, we'll see you soon. We'll keep in touch.
Okay, lovely. Look forward to it.